In the very heart of Poland, hidden deep within the dense Campinos forest, lies a place erased from every tourist map, the village of Bromierzyk. Locals call it the Village of the Hanged. It's not just abandoned, it's terrifying. Urban explorers claim that time flows differently in these woods, and electronic devices begin to malfunction without explanation. But the most disturbing part is the trees. They seem to lure people toward the noose. Today, we'll open archival files that the Polish authorities prefer to keep out of the spotlight and uncover why no one leaves this village unchanged. Watch until the end to discover what researchers have found inside the abandoned wells hidden within the forest. To understand the true origins of the Bromierzyk curse, we must go back to the distant year of 1863 during the January uprising against the Russian Empire. It was then that these dense Campinos woods became an arena for brutal and bloody massacres. Punitive detachments of the Tsarist army carried out mass executions of Polish insurgents, hanging the rebels directly from forest oaks along the roads. The soil of Bromierzyk was literally soaked in the death terror of hundreds of people, laying the foundation for its dark name, the Village of the Hanged. But the curse of the place did not stop there, and history struck another blow at the very end of World War II. In 1945, during the fierce retreat of German troops and the advance of the Soviet army, the village found itself in the epicenter of catastrophe once again. The local wooden parish church, which had been the heart of the community, was completely burned to the ground, leaving the residents without spiritual protection. This finally broke Bromierzyk, turning a thriving settlement into a zone of grief and eternal ashes. The final point in the village's history was made by the Polish authorities in the 1970s when they forcibly relocated the last surviving residents to expand the national park. The people left, abandoning their homes, but their fears and centuries-old tragedies remained locked among the deserted trees. Today, almost nothing remains of Bromierzyk except the foundation of the old church and the eerie ruins that attract paranormal investigators from all over the world. Perhaps the most terrifying and unique legend passed down for centuries among the inhabitants around the Campinos forest is the story of the ghost horse of Bromierzyk. Local old-timers claim that in the dead of night on the abandoned forest paths where life once thrived, you can hear distinct hoofbeats and heavy animal breathing. Out of the thick fog, the silhouette of a lonely riderless horse suddenly appears, charging at full speed directly toward a chance traveler, only to vanish without a trace a second before impact. But this ghost doesn't just frighten people. Local folklore connects its appearance with an ominous omen. According to belief, the spectral horse is the spirit of a loyal mount belonging to one of the Polish insurgents executed by Tsarist troops in 1863. The animal allegedly starved to death by the body of its hanged master, and now its spirit is doomed to eternally guard the boundaries of the cursed village. The locals believe that if you encounter this phantom, the forest has taken your mind, and you will never find your way back from the Village of the Hanged. Moreover, the mystical atmosphere of Bromierzyk is tied not only to the forest paths, but also to the old brick chapel of St. Teresa, which miraculously survived in the middle of the wilderness. Modern Polish stalkers report that it is near this very chapel where strange glows are most frequently seen and echoes of that ghostly gallop are heard. This place seems to hold the energy of all past tragedies, forcing even hardcore skeptics to believe that the abandoned village is inhabited by someone invisible. The main epicenter of paranormal activity in Bromierzyk today is the lonely brick chapel of St. Teresa, which miraculously survived in the middle of the encroaching forest. While only the foundation remains of the old wooden church burned in 1945, this chapel stands as a silent witness to the past. Polish paranormal researchers who come here at night claim that it is inside this small structure where an unexplainable energy concentrates, causing people to experience sudden bouts of chilling, panic-inducing fear. Eyewitnesses and stalkers describe a frightening phenomenon. Inside the chapel hangs an old photograph, yellowed with time, where the person's gaze seems to follow your every move. But the technical anomalies are even more intriguing. Modern digital cameras near the brick walls begin to produce heavy glitches and static, while electromagnetic field meters record unexplainable spikes as if a powerful energy source is nearby. Researchers' walkie-talkies frequently catch white noise at this spot, through which sounds resembling distant crying or muffled groans break through. Local guides attribute these anomalies to the fact that the chapel became a sort of receiver for the souls of those who tragically perished in these woods over the centuries. When the village was finally liquidated and evacuated in the 1970s, St. Teresa's Chapel remained the only spiritual structure for miles around. According to urban legends, it is exactly here that the phantoms of the Village of the Hanged gather, turning the Forgotten Forest Monument into one of the most eerie and energetically dangerous places in modern Poland. Today, Bromierzyk is not just an empty spot on the map, but a true monument to human tragedies that nature is slowly reclaiming. The Polish government's decision in the 1970s to completely relocate the village and hand these lands over to expand the Campinos National Park permanently cut this place off from civilization. The demolition of houses and the departure of the last witnesses erased Bromierzyk from reality, locking all its dark secrets accumulated since 1863 in the absolute wilderness beneath the canopy of ancient trees. What is really happening in the Village of the Hanged? Are the ghost horse, the chilling whisper of the wind, and the technical failures by the walls of St. Teresa's Chapel actual paranormal activity? Or are they just mind games played on impressionable stalkers, fueled by the location's grim history? Science provides no definitive answer as to why people experience unprovoked panic and fear at this exact spot. Yet the energy of the insurgents' spilled blood and the ashes of the church burned in '45 have created an atmosphere that cannot be faked or ignored. Bromierzyk remains a perfect example of a place about which the global internet remains silent, keeping its secrets in the quiet of the Polish forest. Would you personally risk walking down the Campinos Forest Trail in search of the Brick Chapel, knowing that a ghostly sound of hoofbeats might echo behind your back? Write your thoughts in the comments. It's very important for us to know what you think of this story. Subscribe to the channel, because ahead of us lie new investigations into the most hidden and frightening corners of our planet.